Welcome to the Desert Scene with Bonnie G from the Mutual Broadcasting System, where we explore the vibrant world of arts, culture, and entertainment in the desert. Join us as we uncover the hidden gems and shining stars that make this arid landscape burst with creativity. Brought to you by El Portal Mexican Restaurant in Cathedral City, where authentic cuisine meets affordable prices. Diving into the desert oasis of talent and inspiration, here's Bonnie.
And welcome to the Desert Scene. Very happy to have you here today, and very happy to welcome to the show Glenn Rosenblum. He's been on before, and he's got a three-part series, Broadway Showstoppers series, that's part of the CV Rep Summer Cabaret series coming up. Hi, Glenn. How are you?
Hey, Bonnie. How are you? Oh, my God. There's a lot of me this summer, huh?
Yes. And let's back up. Also, I know you just did the Our Name is Barbara event in L.A., the Catalina Jazz Club.
Catalina, directed by Clifford Bell, and they raised, oh my God, I think they raised almost $10,000 for Project Angel Food.
Yeah. That's wonderful.
Yes.
Let's get into your Broadway Showstoppers series.
Oh my gosh.
Starts May 22nd. So tell me, first of all, why did you decide to break it up into three? I mean, they love you. They probably say, Glenn, we want you more than once this summer. Tell me how that happened.
That's exactly... Were you on the phone? Yes, that's exactly what they said. They said, we want 3 shows. And I thought, that's a lot of me. But, I have so much material to share and so many friends I want to share with the local audiences here to come and help me sing some of the songs live that I don't have videos for. So, my show is sort of a combination. I won't call it a lecture because I have all these videos and I comment on them and I talk about them. And then I bring on live performers who, most of them have been on Broadway, and they talk about their experiences, and they also sing some of the songs that they did. So it's sort of like sitting in someone's living room and just having a ball for 90 minutes. It's so much fun for me. And for the audience, obviously, they're having me 3 times.
Yeah. Would you say it's similar to the old, they used to call them salons, didn't they? And some swanky New York apartment, they'd have all these big people come in and sing, and there'd just be a group of people sitting around kind of casually.
It is a salon, but I didn't want to sound all fancy and highfalutin. But you can, so you can call it. Yes, it is a salon. It's exactly what it is.
So how did you decide? I mean, now you have 3 shows to break it up in, but there's so much Broadway material. So how did you decide on what's going to be included?
Well, for the May 22nd, I'm going to celebrate the leading ladies and gentlemen of Broadway, and Alex Corey, Broadway. I love her so much, and Michael Reno at the piano. We're going to celebrate Ethel Merman and Mary Martin and Liza Minnelli and some people that, maybe aren't on the tip of everyone's tongue, like Leslie Uggams and Diane Carroll. Then on June 12th, I'm going to celebrate the golden age of Broadway and beyond. And I put the beyond, Bonnie, because there's always a discrepancy of what was the golden age of Broadway. So I left it a little open.
Okay.
And that evening, Alex Corey's coming back, and Susan Edwards Martin, who was in the original Torch Song trilogy on Broadway for 3 years.
Wow.
She's going to join, and she, oh my God, she made her Broadway debut in a musical called Bubblin' Brown Sugar, and she got it by mistake, and she's going to tell that story. And also an old friend of mine, Kelly Lester, who was just in Cabaret at the Old Globe in San Diego. Have you been down there? It's such a great theater.
I have not.
Oh gosh, she's going to join me, and Kelly is the matriarch of quite the theatrical family. Her daughter Julia was up for a Tony last year in Into the Woods, and her husband's in the new Cabaret on Broadway. And we're going to do songs from Cabaret, The Fantastics, Bubbling Brown Sugar. And Alex is going to recreate her matron Mama Morton from Chicago, which she did on Broadway. And then, last but not least, on July 17th, we are going to celebrate the composers and the lyricists, the ones who write just the music and the lyrics. And a local friend of ours, Gwendolyn Coleman, who was in the original The Magic Show. And a lot of people may not know that show, but it was written by Stephen Schwartz, who wrote Pippin and Wicked and Godspell. And she's going to tell us about that show. It was a big show with Doug Hemming, if any of your viewers remember Doug Hemming, the great magician. Last but not least, Eileen Barnett is joining me, who was in 9 on Broadway, which won the Tony Award over Dreamgirls that year in 1982. And she's going to sing some of the great songs that Maury Yeston wrote for that musical. It was made into a movie a few years ago with Nicole Kidman and Daniel Day-Lewis. It has such beautiful, beautiful music, and Eileen's going to share what it was like to be directed by Tommy Tune. How do you like that?
Hey, Glenn, hang on. Just hold that thought. Hang on just one second. We have to take a quick break. We're here with Glenn Rosenblum. We'll be right back on The Desert Scene.
Craving a delicious meal that won't break the bank? Look no further than El Portal Mexican Restaurant in Cathedral City. At El Portal, we pride ourselves on offering family-friendly dining with affordable prices on our authentic Mexican cuisine. Owner Victor Lupercio and his dedicated staff make you feel like part of the family. Whether you choose to dine in, take out, or opt for delivery, you can always count on fresh, mouth-watering dishes that will transport you to the heart of Mexico. Enjoy discounts throughout the week and explore one of the Valley's best selections of tequila to complement your meal. Join us for live entertainment on Friday evenings and consider El Portal for your next special occasion with our catering services. Visit eatelportal.com for more details and discover why El Portal Mexican Restaurant has become a culinary gem in the desert. El Portal, located 1 block south of Ramon on Day Palm and Via Olivera.
And we're back with Glenn Rosenblum. He's got a 3-part series coming up for the CV Rep Summer Cabaret series. So you were talking about July 17th. Talk a little bit about that one again.
Well, Eileen Barnett, who was in 9 on Broadway, which won the Best Musical Tony over Dreamgirls that year. And she's going to talk about her experiences performing in that and being directed by Tommy Tune. And so she has just such a, there are so many people who have great history and stories to share that it's always so much fun. And like you said before, it's a salon. So, and I think CV Rep lets you bring your wine in now, covered like you're at McDonald's with a cover on the, so
yeah.
So it's a sippy cup. That's the word I couldn't think of. So you can sit with your sippy cup of wine and listen to Broadway songs. And, what's better than that?
Nothing.
At TV Rep.
Yeah.
I love that it's so close and it's here. And it's so, isn't it great that we have so much theater music here in the Coachella Valley? It's great. Well, you're such a big part of it, Bonnie. You've got a lot going on.
Thank you.
But CV Rep is really upped. I say we're the new Provincetown, which was, I was always so jealous that in Provincetown they had all these great Broadway stars all summer, and now we've got them here at the CV Rep. I bought a subscription myself. Yeah, I did. I'm going to 10 of them.
Glenn, are you a sort of full-time resident of the desert here now, or do you go back and forth to LA?
Full time. Okay. I go back to LA because I haven't given up my theater subscription.
Okay.
That's the only reason I go back. But no, full time.
Excellent.
I'm a Cathedral City resident. I love it here.
Super.
Don't you?
Yes, of course. So tell us real quick, for people who don't know you, give us the short version or the condensed version of your background. And did you start performing as like a 6-year-old?
Well, I started performing as a 3-year-old.
Okay.
I played the piano by ear. Okay. Yes, and I talk about that in the Cabaret show that I did a few years ago here. I sat down at the age of 3 and just started playing like the full score with the overture to Oliver.
Oh, good grief.
And on a clear day, you can see, yes, right? And because I grew up on Long Island, I saw like every Broadway show and every touring show that came to the local theaters. And I then got into it and I went to UCLA and earned a theater degree. I lived in New York, and I did work in New York, mostly out of town, and every production of Little Shop of Horrors imaginable when I was young enough to play Seymour. Now we've all graduated to the owner of the shop, Mr.
Yeah.
All the Mr. Those are my favorite, and I gave it up for a while, and I ran, and I still do run a business called Celebrity Access. I book celebrities for endorsements and personal appearances.
Okay.
But a few years ago, someone that I knew at Crystal Cruises, very fancy cruise line, said, "Do you have a club act, and have you ever taught?" And I said no and no, and both scare me to death. So he said, "I challenge you to put together lectures and a cabaret act," which I did. I enjoyed them so much, and now I do them, regularly. I do it at CV Rep. I just came back from a month in Indonesia on Crystal Cruises doing the lectures.
Excellent.
And, people love to learn. And do you know that with all these fancy people on Crystal Cruises, I did a whole thing about Angela Lansbury, and some people had no idea she had a Broadway career before Murder, She Wrote.
Oh, gosh, that's sad to me.
I am doing God's work.
Yes.
I am doing God's work.
Yes.
Yes, I am, Bonnie.
Well,
God's work out there.
Glenn Rosenblum, this is part of the CV Rep Summer Cabaret Series. All performances are 7 p.m. You can get tickets at www.cvrep.org or call 760-296-2966, extension 115. 3 shows with Glenn, May 22nd, June 12th, and July 17th. Glenn, thank you so much. Continued success. You're fabulous. See you at the Broadway
You
show.
are
Barbara
fabulous.
Show.
Bye, honey.
All right, take care. And we'll see the rest of you the next time on the Desert Scene.
The Desert Scene is a production of the Mutual Broadcasting System and is sponsored by El Portal Mexican Restaurant. Eat at elportal.com.